All right, welcome back, everyone. UFC 316 early bird bets. They're not actually very early bird-ish. We're getting to things a little bit late. We'll have the recap video from last week, profited 4.56 units, and we are very, very optimistic about this week's card. I think we have some great bets on the card, and so we're going to run through each of them. We're going to just kind of go through the initial bets, and then we're just going to have our Friday face-off, see if there's anything we see on some of these bets. I think we wait and we bet it later, and some of these we bet them now, especially on these big dogs. And so let's dive into which way we're going to go on each. And here we go. This video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video constitutes financial advice. Betting involves risk, and you should only wager what you can afford to lose. Please consult a licensed financial professional before making any decisions. All right, the first one I want to talk about, because this one has been back and forth, and I do think that the uncertainty is allowing money to come in on the other side. But if you're looking at the metrics I'm looking at, you would go with what I'm going with as well. And so that is Paddy Patrick mix. 70% projected probability on Paddy mix, and this is due to the WHR in Glico 1. Obviously fought in a different promotion, and so he has built up this high score, Glico and WHR. If we go to the bottom here, Mario Batista, 1844, 1991, and we have 2047. It's almost 200 points more, and then 2165. So I think we have a step up in competition, and this little line here of minus 162 is nothing to be worried about. We have him at minus 160, 4.8 units to win 3. And we also have him in a parlay with Sergey Spivak down here, 1 unit to win 2.08. So we could have a potential cash of 5.08, which matches up here with my suggested unit size. Next one here, Vicente Luque. This is one where it feels exactly the same as Kirk Holloway last week, which is concerning. I do have him projected 51% against Kevin Holland. I don't know what happened. I mean, I cashed on Kevin Holland versus who was that? Who he fought in his last fight? Let's take a look at that. Who did Kevin Holland fight? It was that Swedish fighter, Gunnar Nelson. Is he Swedish? He might be Danish. Either way, same deal. Gunnar Nelson beats Gunnar Nelson as a plus 120. I had that. I made that play. We gave that out. We had 4 units on it. But here we go. We're on the other side here, and Vicente Luque is getting absolutely no respect here. And when we go back and we look at his fights, this is what I did. He wins the last fight against Garimba. I had Luque at a plus 145 in that fight. Big step up. Now, Holland's obviously much better than Garimba, but Luque in his losses, he loses to Buckley. Buckley was looking really good. Something was up with Luque in that fight. And then before that, he dominates Dos Anjos with the wrestling. That's where I'm looking at this, and I'm like, okay, Kevin Holland can't stop a takedown. Gunnar Nelson, I watched that fight, could have gone for takedowns, didn't go for it. Now, at welterweight, Kevin Holland is much better because obviously he can use his size to stay up and not get wrestled. Luque is not like a great wrestler, but he's above average. And I don't know, plus 240 is a crazy line to me. I got him plus 190, plus 210, etc. And so I have 2.67 units to win 5.2 at a plus 195. I'm probably just going to stay there, even though I didn't get the best line. I think if I'm wrong, fine. Like Kirk Holloway last week, we had 3 units on him. I have 2.67. Maybe we add a little bit on here before kickoff, but we are at my suggested unit profit. So 5.2 units, not a bad payout. And we just have to hope that this team is wrong. Next one here, Sergey Spivak. I love this bet, but my metrics don't show it, show the love as much. And at minus 144, it's showing no value. Gives him a 56% chance of winning. To me, this is a step up. Again, Spivak has fought some of the better fighters in the heavyweight division. His wrestling is better than anyone that Acosta has faced. And he lost that fight to Lima. After that, he's really fought a lot of guys that can't really wrestle. And so I think Spivak just grabs a hold of him, takes him down, and gets a submission, maybe gets the ground and pound. I love this one, and this is going to be probably more of a gut feel. I've seen some of the guys, some of the other I've been watching different guys make their betting picks. A lot of guys like Acosta here. I just think there's a lot of, kind of questionable wins for Acosta. Ryan Spann came up from light heavyweight, so he beat him real good at heavyweight. Okay, not bad. TKO punches second round. Ryan Spann's been knocked out a lot. What can I say about that? He's not even a heavyweight. Then Robeles to Spain, not even in the UFC anymore, cannot stuff a takedown. Obviously has insane power. Andrei Arlovsky, very old, wins a 3-round decision. Lucas Brzeski is terrible and then loses to Marcus Rogerio de Lima. Chase Sherman, he gets a win. Jared Vandera. So to me, who has he fought that is as good as Mr. Spivak? And I don't think he has fought anyone as good as Spivak. So, and De Lima is not as good as Spivak, and De Lima beat him in a decision. I don't think it's even going to go to decision. I think this is a finish. I think that is what we will see. I think we will see it probably first or second round. And so more money will go in on Spivak. We're just going to wait because I do think the public is going to potentially like Cortez, or maybe even some of the sharp guys will like Cortez. So we'll wait on that. But as of right now, we have 1.15 units to win a unit, and we have them in the parlay. This was at minus 115 too, so we got a better line. They were showing value on that. We got them in the parlay. So we got 2.15 units, essentially to win 2 units right now. And then that money in the parlay will then go on to Patty Mix, and we will cash that. All right, what else do we have here? Ariana Lipski. Such an interesting spot here. Kong Wang is just one of the most overrated fighters that I think I've seen in a long time. She is good, but again, who has she fought? She gets submitted by Gabriela Fernandez in China, comes back and beats Bruna Brazil, which was solid, 3-round unanimous decision. But again, let's talk about how good Bruna Brazil is compared to Ariana Lipski. Brazil had a Glico rating of 1441 going into this fight, and so against Kong Wang. And so we look at Lipski. She has lost to Jasmine Justinian and Karini Silva in her last 2, and that's brought her down to a 1455 on the Glico. But going into the Karini Silva fight, after beating Casey O'Neill with an armbar, she was a 1564. So a higher level for sure than Bruna Brazil. And I think more grappling than Bruna Brazil. And Kong Wang is going to have to figure that out. I think this will be a mixed martial arts fight. The last time she had that was against Gabriela Fernandez, who struck with her and then took her to the ground and got the submission. I think we could see the same thing here. And if you're giving me a plus 385, then I'm going to take it. Right now it's a plus 375, and so combined line plus 382.5. I got 1.33 units to win 5.10 units on Ariana Lipski. And so I love this bet here. Projected probability of winning 51%. That's just the ratings. There is a lot of hype on Kong Wang. So that's where I think we're seeing the money, but minus 500 on Kong Wang is that's just crazy, and good luck. Yanal Ashmouz. Okay, this is the last one we have a bet on. We'll go through some of our honorable mentions, and we will have money on him, but we're waiting. Yanal Ashmouz, we have him at a 47% chance. I had to rerun the numbers because I was pulling some of the height and reach metrics, and it wasn't quite right on Quilland, and so Quilland has a huge height and reach advantage here against Ashmouz. That's what has me kind of worried about this. However, Ashmouz, this is a similar situation to that Patterson fight, and he went in there and knocked out Patterson. Patterson was new to the UFC. Quilland is new to the UFC. I would say Patterson probably has less of a chin, but Patterson has showed against Bartlow that he is a high-level fighter, and so I think Yanal Ashmouz is just generally underrated. He's just a generally underrated fighter. And so at a plus 350, I put 1.33 units to win 4.67. At plus 350, I think that's a good bet. 47% chance of winning, so close to a coin flip. We could be wrong. We could be right. I think these newer fighters where it's like, 47, like even with Lipski and Kong Wang, I think it could be 50%, or it could be Lipski 75%, or Lipski could be 25%. With these newer fighters, there's a lot of variables, unknowns, and variants. So we just know that that's going to be the case, and so we do a small amount of units, but our suggested profit on the units is 5 and 6. We're up to 5.1 profit on Lipski and 4.67 on Ashmouz. So a little bit of wiggle room there, and we may add some. All right, now let's get into the honorable mentions, the ones we will have action on. Kevin Gastelum at a plus 280. I want a better line, and we will get a better line, and that's why we're waiting. 49% projected probability. Coin flip against Joe Pfeiffer. This has a lot of variance. Joe Pfeiffer could be at that next level. We don't know. Has he made improvements? He probably has. Is Gastelum at his old level? Is he training seriously? There's a lot of variables here. So that could be 49%. That could be 20%. That could be 75%. If Gastelum's at his highest level and Pfeiffer hasn't made the necessary steps up, then Gastelum will just, he'll dominate him in a way. But Pfeiffer is dangerous. He's powerful. Gastelum's quick. He's cagey. He's a veteran. So it's one of those fights, and I want the best possible line. I think we can get a plus 350. I think money will pour in on Joe Pfeiffer in parlays, and so let's wait on that. But value is there. Bruno Silva. I'm probably just going to place this bet. Probably going to be a unit. Suggested unit size, 4. We're getting plus 400. He's got a 40% chance on my metrics against Joshua Van. Van's been good, but a lot of the minus 550 is built into upside. Or it could be what they're seeing in the gym, but to me, it's upside. Van could be a champion. He's very young. He's going to be improving. Silva's older. So that's most likely what it is just the age difference. I think we got like 35 to 23 or something crazy. And that's why I have this older back end. So I'm waiting on this. Still undecided, but I think there's value. I mean, there's got to be value on Bruno Silva. He's fought, the better fighters in the division. He wasn't this big of an underdog against Manel Cape. So if that tells you anything you need to know, there it is. And so we're going to wait on it. Potentially just drop it at plus 400. But not totally sold on it. Probably going to do a little bit more of a deep dive on it and see where we're at. Here are the ones that show value that I'm not going to touch. Jekka. I'm not going to bet Jekka. It just hasn't shown to be very good. Andre Gustafsson, just not enough here. Kind of a weird setup. And the line's going down. Money coming in on Gustafsson against Mr. Chaos Williams. So we'll see where that line goes. Juliana Pena I like, and we'll put money on. Not even going to have to put a unit on it. Only give her a 33% chance against Harrison, Kayla Harrison. It's funny. I end up looking at the fighters I'm going to bet on so much, like Pena, that I'm like, oh, who's she fighting again? Oh, Kayla Harrison. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't forget, but a lot of names here. And so Juliana Pena, 3 units is what is suggested on profit. And so that'd be like basically like a half unit, 0.75 unit play. Not even a full unit, though. And that's Juliana Pena. But we like Pena here. I like her in the spot. I like the 425. I'm probably just go and place a bet on this after this because I don't see this line getting much better. Sean O'Malley, I really want to bet on, but he's now down to a plus 225. Money coming in, interesting. 33% chance of winning. I'm not going to jump at this one. I'll wait, see where it goes. Maybe the O'Malley by KO if he catches him because no, we just go straight up. We're not going to go KO any of that because O'Malley could win a decision against Marab if he got better at the takedown defense and getting pushed up against the cage. If he's getting out there and he's teeing off, he'll win. He could, and I think he will win a decision like that. So we'll just take it, but hopefully we can get a plus 250 is what I want, and I'll put a unit on that, maybe even a little more. 2 units is suggested amount, so there you go. All right, let's do the recap then for the early bird bets for UFC Vegas 316. There's what we have. Patty Mix, 4.8 units to win 3 units at a minus 160. Best bet of the night. Next one is Vicente Luque. We have 2.67 units to win 5.2 at a plus 195. We did not beat the line movement on that. We are on the other side, and so I'm going to probably move with caution on this one and see where it goes. Sergey Spivak, 1.15 units to win a unit at a minus 115 with him in a parlay with Patty Mix. 1 unit to win 2.08 units. And then we have our smaller plays, Ariana Lipski at a plus 382.5. 1.33 units to win 5.1 units. And then we have Yanal Ashmouz at a plus 350, 1.33 units to win 4.67. And that's what we have so far. We'll probably add in Gastelum, we'll probably add in Silva, and we'll probably add in Pena. We may add in O'Malley. We'll see where those lines go. But as of right now, these are the bets. And I'm pretty excited about some of these, especially Patty Mix. I love the Sergey Spivak. Vicente Luque has potential. I think there's value if my metrics are right, but the steam on the other side is a little worrying. I think either Yanal Ashmouz or Ariana Lipsky, one of those two are going to win, and we'll cash at least one of them. I think this is just, newer fighters against a little bit more experienced, step up in competitions. I like these two bets here, and we'll see on the Gastelum and the Bruno Silva. Those guys are going against more proven fighters. So Pfeiffer, Joshua Fan, very proven, and so these lines might be accurate as dogs, but we'll see. And there you go, guys. We're gonna dive into the next card as well, and I'm gonna try to get the early bird bets out for that one on Thursday. With some of our struggles recently, I've definitely slowed down on jumping. I've been more looking back and seeing what's going wrong. Where can we improve the algorithm? Where can we improve some of our execution on our bets? And so we're here to win, not necessarily just to put out content that may or may not be right. There's no point in watching me if I'm not helping you guys win some money here. So that is that. Very excited about the card. We'll be getting the early bird bets on the next one, actually early, and I will definitely be seeing you guys at the window.